Let's go over a brief history of AI and how we got to where we are today. Arguably, AI could go back as far as the Greek mythology, and that's when humans were showing interest in machines thinking like humans. Fast forward to the 1950s. Alan Turing was a computer scientist who proposed something that we call the Turing test, which is basically a test of a machine's ability to show intelligence that is indistinguishable by humans as either a machine or a human. So somebody asked the computer some questions and they try to determine if it's a computer or a human, and passing that test would be what is called strong AI. Okay, 1950s and 60s, AI systems started to be built out. They could play chess and solve logic problems, but none were passing the Turing test. 1970s and 80s, that's referred to as the AI winter, when not much was happening. Definitely nothing was passing the Turing test. In the 1990s and the 2000s, things started to pick up a little bit, but still nothing passing the Turing test. In the 2010s, things started to change a little bit, and that's when something called deep learning techniques started to be developed, which is basically processes modeled after the human brain done by computers. It's a big deal, and it meant that AI models could really start to learn from their past mistakes. In June 2022, something really big happened in AI. Google privately released something called Lambda 2, and it arguably passed the Turing test, but it wasn't released to the public yet. In recent news, you may have heard of Google's Bard, which is kind of an alternative to ChatGPT. Google's Bard is based on this Lambda that was launched privately in 2022. So back to ChatGPT, in November 2022, that's when OpenAI launched ChatGPT 3.5, and we've been hearing about it ever since. Now, back to that Turing test. Can a person have a conversation with this computer and be unable to tell if it's a computer or if it's a person? Officially, there isn't consensus that ChatGPT 4 does pass that test, or Lambda. There's no consensus that it for sure passes that test. But more than anything, that's because researchers are debating the definitions of the Turing test, or debating how it should be given. But I ask you to think about your conversations that you have with ChatGPT, and you determine if you feel that it does pass the Turing test.